Few words on Inyanei, Inyanei Pesach. The Maral at the end of Gvuras Hashem, after his lengthy Divrei Iyun in Yetzias Mitzrayim and Halach and Agoda, has an addition, a kitzah halachas of Stam Yenam, of Yain Nesach, Stam Yenam Be'etzem. Why at the end of the Sefer Gvuras Hashem does the Maral speak about Stam Yenam? So what's mavur over there is that there were some who were drinking dalit koises from non-Jewish wines, which Chazal asim midrabanan. Stam Yenam is asim midrabanan mishum b'nei seim. It says in the Gemara in Vayda Zora. And so the Maral comes to be moichiach that this is not the proper way. Why is it not the proper way? Well, of course, the Maral deals with the Inyanim Kloliim, the issue of being mevorech hamachalas asuris hinya mitzvah ba'aveira, but then he speaks out that daf gedalit koises from Stam Yenam is an intrinsic stira. It's a stira minei ubei. Why is that? Because b'nai seim, the gzeira of Stam Yenam was to be machikas from the goyim, that we should have no connection with them, we should have no kesher with the goyim, we should have no chibur with the goyim. That's the gzeira of B'nai Seim. That's the gzeira. The Maral over there is Mechiach from the Gemara, even if it doesn't come to B'nai Seim. Any yecholes to come to Kirva with the goyim, that was what Chazal wanted to keep us away from. Dalit koises is the contrary. Dalit koises is Geula. Abila Sheda Shal Geula. What does it mean, Geula? What does it mean that a Kadosh Baruch Hu was goyalas? Kadosh Baruch Hu was goyalas. He took us from Lakachas like goyim ikarev goy. We were part of the goyim. We were mixed with the goyim. We were bolul b'teicha goyim. And Kadosh Baruch Hu separated us to be the Am HaNivchar. Ata v'chaltanu, like it says in the Siddur Agro. The bechira chodesh ha'aviv is the haschala. The bechira wasn't leilis kadosh hachag and leilis kadosh hachag and tesvav nisan. So says the Maral b'tzaka. How could it be that dafka the dalit koises where we celebrate and we're choyging and we're sameach and moedel Hashem Yisborach, that he was boicher banam we kol ha'amim, so then we drink Stam Yenam, so now we mix ourselves and we connect ourselves to the goy. Already the whole inyan of the Stam Yenam is because when a person drinks wine, so then he feels really rosy and lovey to anyone around. And so if we're going to drink with the goyim, so then we're going to feel ava, we're going to feel a chibur with the goyim. And so therefore they said, no, goyish wine is out of bounds. Stam Yenam, stay away from the goyim, stay separate from the goyim. The dalit koises, which is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was mavdelas, we're going to drink dafka the dalit koises from Stam Yenam. Atmaha, azay tain is the Maral. Now we know that Gulas Mitzrayim is the Yitzir of Klal Yisrael. Now that's really comprised of two parts. There's V'hitzeisi v'yitzalti and there's V'galti v'lakachti. V'hitzeisi v'yitzalti is the physical redemption, different Rishitis in the Meforshei HaTorah, which is going on leaving the actual land of Mitzrayim, which is going on the Shibud. Is it V'hitzeisi v'yitzalti, whichever. But there we're speaking about the physical redemption in the physical sense. About it, we can't have an Ummah if we're still Tachas Shibud Mitzrayim. But then there's V'galti v'lakachti, there's the Ruchnis, the Kinyan Ruchni, the Binyan Ruchni of Klal Yisrael. That's really what makes Klal Yisrael. What made Klal Yisrael? What was the Bechira of Klal Yisrael? The Kadosh Baruch Hu chose us, and the Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Yecholes to be the Am that He's going to give the Torah Kedosha to on Chag HaShavuos. The Ramchal writes in Derech Hashem, actually we're not speaking about the Yontif of Pesach, we're speaking about the mitzvah of Zchius Yetzias Mitzrayim. What happened in Yetzias Mitzrayim? What happened in Yetzias Mitzrayim? He speaks out, Afal Pi, even though we were Ravada already, Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Avada, Avraham Avinu was already Nivchar. Like it's brought that the Neshama, the Nishmas Yisrael, was already granted to Avraham Avinu and passed down through Bonav. The Neshama of Avraham, of Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the Neshama of the Yordei Mitzrayim is the Neshama that was shaykh to Adam Arishan Lefnei Achet. Not like the Goyim from that already was Kayim by the Bechira of Avraham Avinu, but there wasn't yet an Ummah, there wasn't yet an Am, because like the Ramchal over there writes, we still were Tachas the Zuama of the Chet of Adam Arishan. And so what happened at Yetzias Mitzrayim, he writes, is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then after the Shibud and after the Zikuch of the Avodas Parach and the Inuyim of Mitzrayim, so then HaKadosh Baruch Hu was koifes hara tachtenu, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu was meroimim us above the ra. He was meroimim us. He was magbia us far far and above and high up, above the Umas Ha'olam, above Mitzrayim. And then we became the Am HaNivcha. That became now Klal Yisrael, an elevated nation. That's what Klal Yisrael, elevated nation. When all the Meforshim discuss how come we are celebrating Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim, Golas after Golas, Goyla Acha Goyla, right? The Maynaf Gemina if we're in Mitzrayim, the Maynaf Gemina if we're in Poland, Bechule. Aber one of the Panim, the Yashev, the Ramchal Abadi is already miramis to this. It was Geulas Oilam, he says. We say in the Davening Cheirus Oilam. What was the Oilam Shabai? Not that that we were physically free. No, we were thrown into other Goliaths. Aber v'ga'alti v'lakachti, the Cheirus Oilam, the Geulas Oilam, the Kinyan Aruchni, the elevated nation. No matter how much we were thrown from land to land. Aber v'ga'alti v'lakachti, the Am HaNivcha, the Am HaRuchni, the Am that's Dovek B'Hashem Yisborach, that lasted forever. How did this happen? How did this come to be? What is it that somehow was makpitzas and threw us up above everyone else? What happened? There are two very important words in the Agora, b'moira godol. B'moira godol, already the Rishonim already ask. Moira godol of Gila Shechina. Rishonim already ask, how can we eat matzah? It says in the Pasuk, Ki gor shumi mitzrayim, matzah zu al shum ma. Why? Ki gorshu mi Mitzrayim. So the Rishonim ask, and if we had time, we would have made the matzahs, we would have made the batzik into chametz. We really would have. Hooray, we were already huzar in Mitzrayim that there's an issur of chametz, Pesach Mitzrayim. We were also huzar on chametz. So even if we weren't chased out of Mitzrayim, even if they gave us all the time in the world, we weren't going to make it into chametz. And the Rantaka says that no, because in Chametz Mitzrayim, Pesach Mitzrayim was only noig one day, and there was no Isra Bal Yiro Bal Yamatzeh. And we would have baked it into Chametz. In fact, we would have to take Laderech for Matzeh Pesach. But Kigorshu Mi Mitzrayim, so we had to make all the B'tzeikas into Matzah. The Ramban al-Torah writes that no, Avada Klal Yisrael was not planning to make Chametz. Avada Klal Yisrael anyway was going to be making Matzah. We already were Huzah. It says the Ramban al-Torah, unlike the Ran, the batzik was prepared in Mitzrayim and it was baked not in Mitzrayim. It was baked either baderech or in Sukkot, he writes. Why? Anyone who wants to have kosher Pesach dikamatze, non-chametz dikamatze, he doesn't make batzik and then travel with it. Ki gorshu mi Mitzrayim, that's what it says. Ki gorshu mi Mitzrayim. Why was it that they had to bake the batzik baderech or in Sukkot? The reason was because Ki gorshu mi Mitzrayim, they didn't let us be oifer the matzahs in Mitzrayim. So why wasn't it machmitz? So the Ramban says because they baked it before sheer mill. Eich yicholiyot, o baderech, o basukis, because it was a kvitzas haderech. Shegiu l'sham l'shor kala kedibi Rabbi Seinu, says the Ramban. That's why we had kosher Pesach matzah even in Mitzrayim. Aber in the Mechilta it says a lashon. The Mechilta Kanir is being medayik the lashon ki lachometz. It says in the Mechilta a lashon that the ki lachomtza, it didn't become chametz ki nigalu because the geula came. The geula prevented it from becoming chametz. Ayin shem b'malbim. Shulchan Aruch Harab, the Graz in his siddur, is marchib bazah derech, that it was the great moira godol, there was the great gilui, that was mevatel l'soor shebe'isa, in all Madregas and Adam and in Isa. The world stopped. There was no Yetzirah, there was no Hachmotza, there was no Machmitz. That was the nace that we had matzah, even though it was more than Shehiyah Smil, according to that Mechilta, perhaps. Ki nigalu, because the Geula prevented Moira Godel, this patless, the spyless from the Gila Shechina. The Gila Shechina is a chelik ikri of Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Yasa Makos are a punishment for the mitzvah. Brisker Rav writes al Torah, like it says in the Mishnah in Edyas, Mishper HaMitzvah was Yud Beis Chadashim. It was a din oynish to the mitzvah, but nonetheless it was a t'nai. We couldn't leave Mitzrayim until they were makas. Why? It says V'ei nisaticha lehim lefaroi. It says in the pasuk. It says Rashi that HaKadosh Baruch Hu appointed Moshe Rabbeinu as a shofet in order to punish the mitzvah, and then only then can Moshe Rabbeinu take them out of Mitzrayim. Why? It says the Brisker Rav, because as they state in Bris Midah Mitzrayim, In Bris Bein HaMitzorim, the Haftacha was, V'gam es hagoy asher ya'avodu dono noichi v'acharei yetzu. And then they're going to go out. So it's got to be first hagoy asher ya'avodu dono noichi, first makas, and then you leave. Well, why? Why is it so important that we be there for the makas? Let the mitzvah get their punishment whenever they get their punishment. Why do we have to be there for the makas? B'pshutai shteito that the makas move that way also in the Ramban. The makas were not just for the mitzvah, the makas were for us also. Moira Godol, the Moira Godol. That's what was Baina Klal Yisrael. That's what made the Klal Yisrael. The makas, like it says there in the Ramchal. On the one hand, hashpalas hara. On the other hand, to draw us up above. Moira Godol. That was the creation of Am Yisrael. That's the creation of the Umel Yisraelis. This is the separation of Klal Yisrael Mibeno Umas. Says the Maral, on the Yom Tif of the separation of Klal Yisrael from the Umas. Says the Maral, on that night that we're drinking Daled Koisis, the Koisis of Atav Chartanu. Does it make any sense to drink them from Stam Yena? Does it make any sense that we should be Mevatel at Avdallah? That we should be Mezalzel in that lofty Avdallah? The Inyan of Yetzias Mitzrayim lasted 7 days. We know Belelas Kaddish Chav is Tezvav. But we know the Shvi Shel Pesach. Shvi Shel Pesach is a Yom Tif. The Ramban writes in Emor, Tchilasei Kodesh v'Soifei Kodesh. Not like Sukkot. Tchilasei Kodesh v'Soifei Chol. Shmini Atzeres is Regel b'fnei Atzmai. Here the Yom Tif of Pesach is sandwiched in between. It's one long Yom Tif really. The days of Chol HaMoed are not like the Chol HaMoed of Sukkot. The connecting days between Aleph and Zayin. And Zayin there was a Hischadshis, a Hashlama rather, of the Yetzias Mitzrayim. That was with Kriyas Yamsuf. It's Yontif on the one hand, but it's not Regel b'fnei Atzmai. It's a Hashlama and it's the Gemara. In the physical sense, it's the total freedom from Mitzrayim, like Rashi writes in Megillah. By Avdus L'Cheres, they said Shira. Avdus L'Cheres, we weren't free yet totally. They were chasing us to bring us back to Mitzrayim. And in the physical sense, in the Moira Godol, in the spiritual sense, in the Moira Godol, in the Hisroimim was of Klal Yisrael to be an Am, an Ummah that's above the other Ummahs. Masha Leiroas Shivcha, Masha Roas Shivcha, Aliyam Leirod Yechezkel ben Buzi. Yechezkel ben Buzi. Masha Roas Shivcha, Aliyam Leirod, Masha Roas Shivcha, Aliyam Leirod Yechezkel ben Buzi. In Mitzrayim, they were like with an etzba. The Gilu was an etzba, and in Kriyas Yamsuf, the Gilu was biyad. That's the Hashlam of the Yetzias Mitzrayim. Shvi Shel Pesach. Shvi Shel Pesach is the Hashlam of Yetzias Mitzrayim. And both these move on him. It's a 7-day process where Klal Yisrael was separated. Klal Yisrael was separated from the Goyim. It says the Maral, separated from the Goyim, and now you want to join the Goyim. This is from the big Yisaitis, Masha Negea B'Yameinu, Kvar Dibru Bazeh. How separate are we from the Goyim, and how unseparate are we from the Goyim? How much do we want to pride ourselves in being Atav Chartanu, or how much are we really interested to be connected to the Goyim? How much are we involved in the Tumah of the Goyim? How much are we involved in the Chumriyas of the Goyim? How much are we involved in the culture of the Goyim? Or how much are we separate? Atav Chartanu Mikol Ha'amim. We find ourselves now in Magefo Elamis, Layuman Ki Supar, from one end of the world to the other. And Klal Yisrael, unfortunately, is also in the middle of this. It's a time to separate. The world is sick because the world is spiritually sick. Let's separate ourselves. Whatever involvement we need to have with the Goyim or anything they have to offer should be in the most limited sense. And not in an exciting way, but as a b'diavad. The Medrash says, Hashmeini es koilech, the Medrash in Shir Hashirim, it says, Moshe Labas Melech, the Melech, he wanted to hear his daughter's voice, but she wasn't calling to him. So Shteit Medrash, so he called everyone together to go out to some outdoor area, and he sent Listim to frighten his daughter, and then she started to scream, Tzivachas Abba Hatzileni. And the Melech said, the only reason I did that is because I wanted you to be pointed to me and to say Abba Tzileni. Kach Klal Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashmiinei es koilech, wanted to hear us. He wanted to hear us be pointed to him, and he sent us the Shibud Mitzrayim and the Edom Mitzrayim. until we were tzoyek. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to hear more, and so it came again in the Kriyas Yamsuf. Hashmini es koilech, the Medrash is medayik. The same call that I heard in Mitzrayim, I wanted to hear it again, because you weren't being poina and you weren't calling to me on your own. Like Rav Hutner was magdir in this Medrash Kimdumani. It's not that the tefillah was the heichatimtza to take us out of the tzara. The tzara was a heichatimtza to get us to be mispalal and to be pointed to Hashem Yisborach. He says vatem tachrishun top and kamakoymai. Either actually as I state in the Medrash. Top HaKadosh Baruch Hu K'tais T'chais wanted to hear our call, wants to hear our call. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should say Dai. Baruch Hashem Klal Yisrael is showing its yoifi. Taka being mashmiya the call, showing what is ayid, b'tachan or tefillah, and whatever else Gedalia Yisrael is saying to do. And one of the things that Gedalia Yisrael did also stress, which is Aleph Beis. It's a big nesayin b'tei chabotim. People are home, kids are home. People are worried about chametz. People are worried about germs. Not a geschmack of matziv. It says that Pesach is the Amud HaChesed. We have to be going chasadim with our batim. Our moods, our smiles, our understanding. Bez Hashem Yisborach b'schus that we do chasadim b'teich bateinu, b'teich hameinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will do chasadim itanu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say Dai l'tzariseinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will mevaser us with besuras toives, b'viyas koyel tzedek b'meira v'yameinu.